Greetings, world and familia. I am a Richard, and I am joined today by the beautiful Miss.
Sonia, listen to that. My front throat's already going. Sonia from the Tree of Knowledge.
Welcome, my beautiful Sonia. And Femi, Golden Femi, we got a very special show episode for you today, which is very nice to me because it's our second collaboration. But for today, because the first collaboration, we spoke about who Sonia is and, what she does and her interpretation and her healing into the Great Awakening. But today, now that we know her, we're going to be bringing in a very, very special guest today. We are going to be talking about Max, the crystal skull.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
isn't this great?
I'm so excited to talk about this. I had done a video on this years ago because it had changed my life. So basically, about roughly 15 years ago now, it's hard to believe it's been that long. There was a newspaper clipping that I saw in the Aegis, and it
Mhm.
was Max coming to Baltimore, Baltimore County. Come join us with his keeper, which was Joanne Parks. And I was like, Max, the crystal skull. And I'm like, oh, I want to go. I want to go see that crystal skull. So I called my sister and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go see this crystal skull. You want to go with me? And she's like, yeah,
Mm.
what to do for the day. I'll bring the kids. And I'm like, yeah, me too. I'll bring Wendy because my other daughter was working. So we basically drove from where we were, which was in Aberdeen, Maryland, down to the
Mhm.
Baltimore County. It was about a little over a half an hour. Ended up at this huge old antiquitech theater. I mean, this theater was awesome. It was in this square. It had big windows on it, like archy windows around the whole
Mm.
front of it. It was done with paintings inside. There was velvet everywhere, had red carpet. So when we walked in, it was really funny. Before we got there, I'm going to add, we got in our car, we checked for the traffic. They said it was light traffic. We start going, we hit 95, and
Mhm.
boy, did we get caught in traffic. And so it detained us for like a half an hour to get there.
Mhm.
We finally got there. We went into this beautiful old theater, and they were talking that the theater was getting ready to be shut down permanently, and they didn't know what they were going to do with it because it was an old antiquitech theater.
Mm.
So we went in there, and you know how you have it cordoned off with ropes and things, and you have the
Yeah.
pole? The whole center was like that. Max was sitting on this like cushion, and that woman Joanne was taking the cord and just getting ready to close it. And she announces as soon as we walked in, no one else can hold the skull. And there weren't that many people there, probably about 10 people there. There wasn't hardly anyone there, and she was only going to be there for like an hour, so I don't think there was a big turnout. So she was like going to cut it early and go because she
Mm.
was supposed to be there a little bit longer. And then she announced she'll be leaving in like 15 minutes, and I'm like, oh gosh, what a shame. We just drove all this way, battled that traffic. Why the traffic just all of a sudden appeared, probably to stop me from being there. And
Mm.
then so we started to walk in, and I couldn't get over. I was more fascinated by the room than the skull at that time because it was the
Okay.
first time I ever walked into an antiquitech that was still in
Mm.
its original state.
Yeah.
And it's, oh my God, look at this place. So we ended up walking around, and I saw the skull, and I'm like, oh, I was seeing it on the side. And I started feeling something inside of me. And then I walked directly in front of the skull. Before I started walking, though, I started taking pictures of the skull. And then when I walked directly in front of the skull, my sister was talking to me, and I couldn't hear anything anymore. And I'm standing in front of the skull, and I felt like something was
Mm.
pulling me. It was weird. It was like it hit me, and then it started pulling me. And I'm like, wow, it kind of like took my breath away. And I started getting a little bit nauseous feeling and dizzy. And then I felt this huge thing go into my chest. And I'm like, oh my God. And I had to step out in front of the skull. And I'm like, I started sweating.
Mm.
And it's like, oh my God, what is wrong with me? I'm sweating. My husband's like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I don't feel good. And he's like, Okay, so we stayed there for like maybe 10 or 15 more minutes. And the lady Joanne ended up extending because she was going to leave. And I'm walking around the school and I'm starting to feel worse and worse and worse. And it's like, what in the hell is wrong with me? What is going on? What's wrong with me? And I started, I didn't feel good. And I finally was like, okay, I gotta go out of here. My husband was angry at me. He goes, you made us come all the way down here. And you don't even want to stay and look at this skull. And everyone's like, why are we leaving? We just got here. And I'm like, I can't. I'm going out. I got to get out of here.
It was too much, huh? That was coming in,
Yeah,
too
it was too
pure.
much. Yeah. So I ended up going out. She was still in there. I didn't get to touch the skull. I'm sitting there thinking, maybe it's a good thing I didn't touch the skull or
Yeah.
hold it. So she was letting people hold it. I'm like, if this happened to me, just being in its present, I was about 10 feet away from the skull. That's it. And I'm
Uh-huh.
looking at it and I'm just, having all these physical things happen to me. It's like, something's wrong. Something's wrong. So I had to get out of the building. As soon as I left the building and walked away into the square that it was in, I
Hmm.
started feeling myself again. And I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm good. So then my husband and my sister and all the kids came out and they're like, you want to go? And I'm like, no, I'm good now. And then they were telling me, yeah, she's picking the skull up now and she's leaving. And it's a shame you couldn't stay there the whole time. And it's like, no, that thing
But
was
I get
making me.
also that no one else that was present had that reaction.
Nope, not my
No,
daughter, my
no.
sister, her kids, not my husband at the time. No, no one. It was only me. And then
Hmm.
we ended up going to an Egyptian restaurant because it was right there. And all of a sudden I was like, okay, I'm good, I'm good. And everyone's like, we're hungry. So we went to the Egyptian restaurant, which was right there by that theater. And that was the first time I ever had god awful goat cheese. And I found out I hate goat cheese. I really hate it. It's
Isn't that
horrible.
funny? Okay.
So I ordered this big dish. It came out and it had goat cheese all over it. I'm like, how am I going to eat
No.
it? I pretended to eat it and said, can I have a to-go bag, please? And when I got home, it was
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Well, I gotta tell you that I feel Max are very present right now. I've been feeling Max well over a month now. I've been feeling called to do like a channeling video with him. And it was very strong for a while, but then life came in the way and I had others that felt more urgent, like Amy Winehouse. I had Whitney Houston. And I still got a lineup, but Max took a back burner for a while. He was very present. He was giving me messages, telling me that I have a link to him with my dragon coding. And as I'm turning into crystalline right now, like I'm getting a connection. But then he took a back burner. And I know now why, is because after my Rocking Pandora's Box with Gary last week, we spoke about Max. And afterwards, Gary says, you know that our beautiful Sonia has met Max. And then you should do maybe a show on that. So I asked Sonia, what do you say? And she says, yes. And I know now why he went on a back burner, because he wanted both our voices to come in on a video, to not do like an interview or a hard drive, but bring back his essence as he is absolutely sentient alive. Yes, it's not like we are, but he is like out of a slumber really, and he's getting more and more enlightened. And by the way, as I told Sonia just a minute before recording, I looked at her beautiful, gorgeous backdrop over there, and I
there.
spotted Max poking out. Would you like to show with your fingers so the family could see where I told you Max was? Just above the
Yeah,
Sonia. No, could you circle? Yeah, circle it to show
yeah,
the family.
I'll just get up. This is a tapestry that I just got. I went through hundreds of tapestries, and this is the only one I really wanted.
Because Max wanted it done. Look at that,
Yeah,
Fanny. Do you see?
yeah.
It's like a half skull. You got the
Yeah,
eye, you got the
right,
cheekbone going down
yeah.
towards the stairs, the mushrooms, where is his chin? That is Max coming out, enlightened, in a time that is so gorgeous because our DNAs are leaving, okay, from carbon clay DNA to crystalline, Max the crystal skull, the great awakening. And with this, our skulls are transmuting to crystalline. Everything is changing. Like the pineal, like you had said, it's like one, two, the rest now. It's not just at the front. And we are becoming transmitters and receivers. How do you feel
Yeah,
about that, gorgeous?
I think that's absolutely true. Well, let me tell you
Yes.
what I found out.
Uh-huh.
Max ended up putting a package inside of me.
Yes.
So the woman Joanne Parks
Mhm.
ended up getting this skull. Let me do a little back history on how Joanne
Yes.
got this skull.
Yes.
Joanne had gone to South America, and her daughter had just died from some horrific bone disease. And her daughter, I think, was like 12 or
Mm.
something like that.
Um,
And she was in the biggest sorrow of her life, and she couldn't get up out of her own way. She was going downhill fast because that was the love of her life, her daughter. And she ended up going somewhere. She ended up finding the person, the shaman that had this skull, and the skull started talking to the shaman, telling the shaman, I need to be with her. She's going to be my next trek. You have to release me and let me go. You're no longer going to be my caretaker. So the skull was given to her, and the guy that had the skull told her what the skull told her, and then on the promise that she would take it through the entire snow globe everywhere to humanity. So what I was feeling when I stood in front of Max, Max has been going through this entire snow globe looking for people like me, like
mm.
you,
Yes.
looking for us. And this is why the shaman released it to her, because she promised to do this as long as she was alive.
Yeah.
So he believes that Max is always for love and what have you, which is true. But this is
Mhm.
what she doesn't know. You remember when I told you I was taking pictures of Max?
Mhm.
Well, the next day I went back to my living room and started looking, sat down and looked at my pictures of the museum and the skull. And what do you think showed up on my pictures of the skull? There was a head inside of the skull. So a head inside of the skull. And I took pictures of it from here to here to here to here to here. And you could see a 360 head when you went real fast by scrolling, a whole head inside of the skull, and the head was actually moving, like moving the
So,
eyes,
like a hologram of a human with
hologram,
skin
a
and lips
real.
and teeth and
Yep,
eyes and
yep.
eyelashes.
I'll describe what it looked like. It looked like a Roman, how they depicted Romans. It had dark hair, it had dark eyes,
I'm
a
seeing
very
him.
tall jaw. The hairline was like no, we don't wear hair like that. And this thing wasn't a holograph; it was an actual being. And some of that package, that this package has been opening up for me in time, and all of a sudden I get these great big downloads, and some of it's from Max, and some of it's from the ether, and some of it's from my 90% of my subconscious and superconscious. But basically, his name is Maximilian. It's not
Mm.
Max, Max short for Maximilian. This is
Mhm.
what Max told me his name actually was. And Max told me that he is connected to the Samvartika fires. He is connected to the resets. He is connected to the machine, which is Venus, because they're made out of the same material. Max is an energy being inside of that skull. It's not holographic, it's etheric. Max
Wow.
is real. So basically, what I was shown is that they have high technology. We came from high technology. They have this crystal technology where energy beings, pure thought energy beings, can go inside of the crystal. Crystal is not like our technology. Our technology is flat, flat, and flat, both sides. Crystal technology works like this, and it keeps going and keeps going. And the smaller it gets, the more it gets. So you have infinite space. So if you're an energy being and you go into this crystal technology, which the Phoenix is actually that, and most people don't know that. Jason from Archaics talks about the Phoenix event. What he doesn't realize, but he might by now, is that Venus is a machine on one half of this Dyson sphere. There's another machine that's in Antarctica. It's the bottom half and it's under the ground. When this one turns on and this one turns on, they create energy.
Yeah.
They create the Samvartika fires. These crystal skulls are connected to automate the Samvartika fires. And what I found was that what causes the resets are when humanity starts to be chimered with technology and humanity is bastardized into technology. These crystal skulls are placed everywhere. So it's contacting all of humanity. That's one of its things, to find out if it gets to a certain tipping point where it has to be reset.
Right, because I'm being shown like being told to talk about like stuff like the great mud floods, or I'm seeing like
Mhm,
lots of
mhm.
water drowning. So
So
that
what
would be
happens is when these crystal skulls are constantly relaying information on the state of humanity and the state of this reality, not just humanity, nature, humanity, what have you, it goes back to the crystal up here. And what happens is when the machine gets started underneath the ground and the machine of the Venus gets started,
Mhm.
you got one frequency going here, another frequency rising from under the ground. That's why we're getting all these fires coming from under the ground, and they hit at a maximum point. They create a new frequency, which then creates the Samvartika fires, which are lightning and electricity that have marked this entire landscape. If you go up real high, you'll see they're called Liechtenstein markings. It's from the Phoenix event. So,
Wow.
mhm.
Well,
So
I'm getting that
basically,
everything you're saying is accurate with my pendulum Aurélien. This is the yes movement.
mhm.
So,
So basically, Max put this package inside of me because of when I was born and when I came into this reality. I did not have a lot of things locked down like most people. So he's
mhm.
literally going around being taken, coming across masses of people to find the ones that have come in who are not locked down so he can put packages inside of them. And all of this transmission information can be set with inside of us because we are comprised of a crystal in every drop of our water body. Every drop of
Yes.
water has a crystal. So what it's doing is it's actually affecting the crystals inside of us using the same crystal technology. This is the package. And what it's doing is your whole avatar, because you run like a battery, you run
Mm.
positive, negative. So you can hold the package, which is a form of information embedded in all the crystal inside of you.
Right, right. Well, it's very interesting, my beautiful Sonia, because as you know, for me, whenever I do a one-on-one Zoom or I get ready for a show, a collaboration, Richard loves to go meditate and I love to go surfing into the ether, and I don't come out until I'm totally satisfied with all my questions. So I wanted to know about today's show. Sonia, Richard, and what is the connection with Max right now? Because I feel him a very strong, and I don't see anything cataclysm happening this time around. I don't
Nope,
see like mud floods. There's
nope.
something really beautiful happening. But I wanted
No,
to know, what is Sonia's connection to Max? And what is my connection to Max? Why are we having the show? Because we only briefly spoke for 2 minutes before starting the film. It's not like we had an interaction this week. We've both been extremely busy, and we got several hours difference, as Sonia's in Europe and I'm in Canada. But can I share what I got from Max in
yes.
my medit, or Maximilian, about you, Sonia?
Okay,
Yes?
yes.
Okay. I need my eyeballs. So what I got from Max is that Sonia actually holds a grounded, but okay, that's what I got. A grounded but cautious reverence towards Max. I got that. It felt like your initial encounter with them left you slightly awestruck but curious. And now I learned what happened when you went and you got bombarded and you had to leave. I did not know this story. So what I got is that you, Sonia, you actually would carry past life memories of Atlantean and Mayan priestess roles. So I asked, okay, good, I can see that, I'm connecting, but I wanted more. So that's where crystal skulls were used in solar rituals at or time gates. Wow, beautiful. There's a
Mm.
strong guardian of the voice for Sonia, like almost like a code within her throat chakra right now. And that's what I wrote. Even if she doesn't realize it, but Max actually wants to reactivate her vocal codes. Okay, so that's what you got, the downloads. That's why you got nauseous. It recognized you from what I get, those pre-Atlantean Mayan, where you were a priestess working with the crystal. Does that resonate to you?
Yes, it really does. Because when I saw Max, it was really weird. It was like, I know this skull. I
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
it's not the only one. I'm like, I don't know why. When as soon as I saw the clip in the newspaper, it's like, I gotta go. I
Yeah.
just gotta go. I don't know why I gotta go. I have to go. I have to go. Because I
Uh-huh.
made it a point to be like, because my husband was gonna try to get out of it. And I'm like, no, we're doing this. We're doing
And now
this.
you get there, you want to leave.
Well, and so I basically told him, if you're not doing this without you. And he's like, well, if you're going to go for the day, I guess I can go too. Because I
Yeah.
was going to go, even if I went by myself, I was doing this.
Mm, yeah. That's
So definitely,
beautiful.
I do know that Max put a huge package inside of me.
Hmm.
And sometimes when I'm talking about stuff and I'll just have all this information coming to me, coming out of me, I do know that he put a large package inside of me. I
Yes,
mean,
he's
I have
acknowledging it and
not
I feel it. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have not unfurled all of it because it isn't time yet. I have slowly been unfurling it since I started my channel. I had this overwhelming push to start a YouTube channel because, and it almost felt like someone's pushing me, do it, do it, do it.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, because that's the last thing I would ever do. And when I did, I realized that this is all from the crystal skull because I would just start talking and all this information would be coming out of me. And I'm like, what am I saying? What am I saying?
Uh-huh.
It's almost like someone else had put something in me, hit play, and I'm just saying it. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh my gosh, because I do not believe in any of that that what do you call that when people have people talk to them or beings talk to them and all they do is
Channeling.
I don't believe in channeling. I won't do
Mm.
it because I won't give my power away like that.
Yeah.
This is coming from inside of me. So
Uh-huh.
package, it's a package that was put inside of me. And
Yeah.
I know that it's connected to my subconscious. I know I wouldn't have agreed to have this package on a level unless I already knew about it because I'm the kind of
Right.
person I am. I don't give my power away to anyone, not
Yeah.
anything or
Yeah.
anyone I'll ever give my power away to.
Yeah.
So on some level, I have agreed to do this.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And I would like to clarify something here because I agree with you, like I never let an entity or an outer force enter me when I channel. So when I channel is actually when I will be able to communicate and have my higher self have these discussion and showed me images. Never like you are you allowed to come into me and I'll speak in tongues. From an entity,
Mhm.
and Richard's on the back corner. So when I say I channel, it's more like my higher self is having a discussion with that higher self. Okay, so I
Mhm.
just wanted to clarify because I speak often that I channel, but I don't channel that way either. I won't
Yeah,
let anything come into me that's not me. Yeah.
absolutely.
Mm.
So let me look because you know I'm also a remote viewer, and let
Yes.
me look and see what this connection is between us meeting and now
Uh-huh.
we're talking about Max. I've been thinking about Max for the last month. I mean,
You
heavy
too.
thinking about him. Yes,
Me
for the last
too.
like why, but I keep thinking about Max. Why am I thinking about Max?
Oh, I love
What's
it.
wrong? I even told Arthur, I said, I had talked about it a couple times over the last several months. Man, I know that there's a lot of crystal skulls out there, and I want to go treasure hunt and find those crystal skulls because there's
Uh-huh.
still a few left in our realm that we can
Uh-huh.
get to that haven't been discovered yet.
Yeah.
I almost know where they're at, but it's like every time I try to go there, it's like boom, can't see it
Yeah.
anymore. It's like
I
it's not
get,
don't see
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I get that there's
So,
many of them. I get that there's some like in cathedrals, some underwater, some maybe inside underground, inner earth. Some have not been found. I get that some might have been chipped or not perfectly done, but I see them, I feel them, they're reactivating. And I do feel a strong sense of like, as we all know, like with a bit of knowledge on Maximilian, so he'd be the main one. He'd be like the main amplifier. And then we hear about the 12 other ones, him being the 13, right?
oh,
But we both get that there's many other ones, smaller ones scattered out, correct?
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. I'll say this before I say what I'm going to say about you.
Okay, my love.
Look at the moon and know that's a reflection of this snow globe. And you'll see
Yes.
that from just a small little part of it, there are a lot of skulls outside of where we are here,
Uh, uh,
over here. There's a few left in here, but most of them are out around us in all of that land we're not supposed to know about and water.
yeah.
So
Well, you're
I will
talking
say
about beyond the dome, the ice wall, like that's
that.
what you mean, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
The snow globe.
exactly.
That's what you mean when you say,
Yep,
okay.
the snow globe.
Yeah.
Yep. So basically, when I look into you, I'm seeing that somehow, did you ever have contact with Max before?
Yeah, well, I started like over a month ago. He started coming to me, and that's my awakening with him.
Okay, because I'm
Oh, no,
seeing
no, no,
that.
no, 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 no. Sorry. Okay. Flashback. Hi yourself just like gave me a kick in the ass and brought me to my childhood. This is so strange. I forgot about this. When I was maybe 11 years old, I was in biology class and we had like little replicas of skeleton. I stole a little skeleton hand made of plastic. I called it Max, and he was my favorite friend that I kept in my lumberjack kit.
Oh my gosh, I keep getting that you have a direct connection between the being inside of Max, the skull. So the skull is technology, the being inside is Maximilian.
Oh my
Okay.
God. Yes, yes.
So you have a connection where in one lifetime, you and Maximilian were together, working together. You
Yeah, I
were
feel it.
working together. And so in this time frame, you have chosen to come in and reactivate your knowledge on
My
Max,
whole
on
spine,
everything.
my whole
Yeah,
spine's electric.
yeah. So you're reactivating all of that knowledge. You're tapping in. You're already connected to Max again. You can connect to Max because there's no such thing as time or space. It's just a
That's
thought,
right. Yeah.
just a thought, and boom, you can connect to Max. This is for other people too. If you match Max's frequency, here
Yeah.
we go again, you
Yeah.
can connect to Max. Not everyone's going to be able to because not everyone's on that frequency. But if you are, yes. Now, the people that Max dealt with in other lifetimes,
Mhm.
Maximilian dealt with, there was only a small group. In this lifetime, he's finding us. Doesn't matter how he's finding us. I had this overwhelming feeling. I knew him too personally. I don't exactly know how because I can't really see anything about myself, but I know that he knew me or he'd have never left that package inside of me. No way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No
Yeah.
way.
That's amazing because if I could share also, because after what I said, your connection with Max, I got my connection. So let's go see now that you've said this, because I don't even remember. Because after my meditation, I just like, "Brrr," and then like, translate. But I got about me that Max, okay, here we go. Max responds to my heart fire, not my mind. So I am there to like not overthink things. He sees me as a dragon soul.
Mm-hmm.
okay, who once carried crystalline transmitters across realms.
Mm-hmm.
And that I am re-bridging the connection right now. So basically, he would be in many ways my mirror skull. As I awaken, so does he.
Yeah.
But that goes
Yeah.
like what you just said, like, and I'm not the only one, but there's
Yeah.
something there. It matches with what you just said.
Yep. Yep.
Wow.
I know that Maximilian, his biggest thing was love, peace,
Hmm.
compassion, but more than all of that, that's very important, balance.
Yeah,
Humanity must become balanced once more. Balancing means that you can't live in a state of fear.
that's
That's
right.
the biggest thing. One of the biggest things that I think Max put inside of me was showing me the lady who has her blindfold on and she's carrying the scales.
Oh,
And
the you mean the tarot cards?
uh,
Yes.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So anything with the justice lady being blindfolded and she's holding the scales. And I keep seeing Max come over and take off the blindfold. And then the scales are no longer off, they balance.
Purpose.
Knowledge,
Yeah.
knowledge. And so now is the time for the knowledge to go back into humanity. And we will be the conduits of all of that knowledge to filter back into this reality so humanity can once again become balanced. When you become balanced, those chakras fall off, which are governors. Your brain will then be at a full capacity. You're going to have mad skill set. Your clairs are
Uh-huh.
connected to every different part of your brain, which means that they'll be up and running clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and all the other clairs. And in order for humanity to get to this, you need to become balanced. Because once you become balanced, knowledge can come in. And guess what? Connected to your trinity, your brain, your heart brain, and your gut brain, you become a whole unit again and not
Hmm.
working only out of your brain or only out of your heart or only out of your gut. And that's the biggest thing that
Yeah.
I believe needs to be known.
Yeah. Yeah. That's beautifully said, and I agree. The Trinity.
The
It
Trinity.
all works with that in every way. It's absolutely divine, these all concepts. I get also that Max would be communicating with also a lot of the younger generation that could be seen as crystalline or rainbow children, because I see that they don't have like a karmic like strap on or a chain around their ankles, like that karmic debt. Like I could see a lot of these like being getting the
Yeah.
receiver, because that's all it is. That's like transmission. And I love what you're saying about the chakras too, because we've had this discussion, I believe, last time, that
Yeah.
the crown chakra right now is removed.
Don't, it's removed. You have a chakra up here that is gone. That holds down your biofield, and your biofield is actually who you are. It's your energy being, because we don't
Yeah.
quite avatars. This is your biofield. This is why 80% of your health lies here. So right now we're in a silent war, and the war is attacking your biofield through the towers, through the technology, what have you. That's why I call it a silent war. You don't
Yeah.
even know you're being warred upon. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, this is humanity going through an ascension. And then we got to talk about that mitochondria.
Yes, of course.
We're going to ascend. So basically, I was listening to Chris Sinatra. He was on Quantum Businessman. He opened up a Substack and he started talking briefly the first time I watched him about mitochondria. And I'm like, mitochondria, mitochondria. I remember learning about that in like middle school. What, you
Mm.
know, basically inside of each blood cell, you have 250 little mitochondria, sometimes more. You will end up with more eventually. This mitochondria looks like a little tiny battery. So basically, it looks like a capsule with a line, a line, and a line, and it works like a battery. And what it
Mhm.
does is it flashes. And this is etheric flashing. The flashing gives your body the ability to move everything. It works your entire endocrine system. It works your entire all of your organs. It works your brain. That's part of your organ, but it works your whole avatar. So I also see that it's getting ready to flip. So right now, to feed the mitochondria, you have to have B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B12, magnesium, coenzyme 10, and a few other things to feed this mitochondria, which is why our food has been GMO, to take these out. So your mitochondria can't flip. So basically what I'm seeing is there'll come a point where it's doing this right now, okay? If it's fed correctly, if you're always tired and stuff like this, you probably don't have enough food in your diet that's giving the proper nutrition for the mitochondria, and that's why you've got brain fog and all these other.
Yes.
So basically, because of the food being so tampered with. So what I will see is, I see it going this until it stays on. And when it stays on, it flips. That mitochondria was a part of us before we all fell into this 3D reality. And it was on all the time. And when we fell, it came to being more solidified and then turned into a solid, which became the mitochondria. That is our God source connection. It's the mitochondria. It's the bioluminescence. What we will become is bioluminescent. We will be luminescent. We will no longer be Homo sapien sapien. Then we're going to have Homo Borg Genesis, which turns you to Borg, and that was coined by Todd Callender. Or we're going to be on the other split, Homo Illuminus. And it's all got to do with the mitochondria. When it does its flip, we become 5D. But we have to become 5D here first, because without this can't happen. Now, how do you become 5D? You stay out of fear. You balance yourself. You raise your frequency by staying out of fear. The chakras come down. It's giving you a chance to start learning everything. Foundations need to be destroyed and rebuilt. Everything you think you know needs to be re-looked at. Everything you know has to be questioned.
Relearned.
And relearned. This is why the chakras come down from the top first, because as the chakras come down more into the base chakra, that's when some of your clairs that are more can make a change. Like, say I got mad one day and I said, disappear, and boom, you're gone. If you don't hold the frequencies to keep these chakras down, you will never get to the point where that clair opens up. They are governors to protect you and to protect others. They're chains, boom, falling into the 3D.
Shackles.
Shackles. So basically, this mitochondria with our ascension is starting to do this, where now even our bones are glowing, and there's been photographs and things of it. And this is our ascension. Organs are changing, our body's changing. You can push the ascension by doing one thing, trying to be balanced, handle all situations that come at you like a third person. Say somebody says something or somebody does something to you. You do not react at first. Go out of yourself. You treat that like it's your best friend's problem, not your problem. You find a solution or an answer or something that's somewhat coherent to the situation. You step back into that problem, then it's yours. You deal with it. You cry, you scream, you shout, you cuss. I don't care what you got to do. Break down if you have to. And then you let it go. Because the longer you hold those dark frequencies, which are heavy, and that's fear, anxiety, I'm not enough, and the whole bag of fear, hate, jealousy, all of it, these chakras cannot come off. You balance yourself out like the woman with the scales, boom, 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 boom. You keep going, the chakras will start coming off faster. And when you keep that frequency going of staying out of fear, the next thing you know, the only chakra you have left on is your heart chakra. And when that one finally goes off, and there is a time frame for that,
Mhm.
Everything. The world is your oyster. And
Yeah.
then you are not only just 5D here, you become 5D where you are, because all frequencies, all dimensions are here superimposed on top of each other's. But where do you lie in those frequencies are what you will experience.
Yeah. Wow, that was so beautifully, beautifully said, my Sonia. I love it. I love it. You have a way to explain it. I love it, like how direct you are, and I love this energy because it brings it to the goal line, right? Like if you make it very visual. I respond very well to it. But you know, it's very interesting, right? Because we always talk about light beings, but this is exactly what we are becoming with what you're
Oh,
saying with the karma. What's the word again?
mitochondria.
Yeah, mitochondria. So that's exactly what it is. And I feel that also I got an image, right? Like the perfect balance. You say like Lady Judgment that removes her blind, like what is the balance? So you got to get out of fear. But I find that the opposite that balances it goes even beyond love. It's called
Yes,
authenticity.
authenticism. Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
Authenticism. When you are true to yourself, you are completely authentic to yourself, and that's how the world shall see you. Remember, changes don't happen out here. Changes start here. And when they
yeah,
start here, this out here is a reflection of in here.
yeah, yeah. I love it. And this is where you manifest everything that you want.
Yes, this
Yeah.
is manifestation changing here so that this will be the mirror of what you are.
Yes. 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 I love all that. So when we talk about like right now, because I do feel that like Maximilian right now, it's so important and he's like vibrating stronger than ever. How do you connect, Sonia? Because I see that there's a big connection through like just like meditating and surfing and what like I was shown, right, by Maximilian and also the primordial sacred divine that I call she. So we got dragons everywhere that are reawakening. And like you say,
Oh,
like
yeah.
our land is like on so many dragons. But I
Oh,
see that
yes.
Yellowstone, whatever is happening there within the crust, is like a she that is rising from her slumber. Now there would be also another dragon that would have come out of Russia,
Mm.
like a red dragon, a male counterpart. So how I see it is that she, the primordial divine feminine, is awakening, is a quaking, the magma, the lava, and then all her hissing and all that. And then she called on to divine masculine to arise in. And in Russia, so we got the womb in Yellowstone, and then in Russia it crowned, and he came back. And now, whether she quakes from the ground and he flies all around into the sky, they're seeing how much a simulation was greatly infiltrated, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
pacts that were made were not respected, and we had all kinds of loops that happened to trick everyone and being stuck here, going through different timelines and start and loop again. And I feel that Max right now is kind of resonating at the same time as this a great awakening. We got the 8-8 portals gate, divine masculine is coming online, not to dominate divine feminine, but to become the partner and support. It's something really magical right now with the dragons and with Max, and he's got like
Yeah.
12 skulls around him. I saw that she had 13 womb portals around her.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow.
And how
I
I
do.
got, sorry?
Go, go ahead.
So how I got she, because that was because I've been like obsessed with Yellowstone beyond a volcano. There was more to this. There's a reason why the animals, I saw them going inner earth and getting the dragons. It's time to come out and play. You are safe. These are the visions I had gotten. But when I was going, like, okay, so it's a female dragon, all that, and I went deeper and deeper. So I'm going to, so are you talking about Gaia, or a form of the Sophia before she got corrupted? Not the corrupted aspect, but the original one. I'm going, no. And it was a strange name because it came into light language, but I was presented as she, the primordial one. And how she showed to me is that she came as an energy before light was even there, so more like sound. And she had come in and created like these 13 like womb gates around her, like 13 feminine priestesses of dragons. And together they dreamt Gaia into becoming the organic hologram of a simulation, maybe I want to say. But it goes all the way down. So I'm going like, okay, so are you saying like you're like the Big Bang kind of energy? And I got a yes on that. You know, it's Big Bang just to, I'm not talking about the scientific side, but creation. It was so beautiful. And then I saw that, yes, Yellowstone is like the womb, and then the crown, and oh my gosh, the simulation has had so much havoc. While we slept, we were in stasis. Are you resonating to any of this?
Yeah, yeah, I am.
Ah,
And
it's
I
crazy,
wanted to
huh?
tell you about when this schematic was first designed, and they wanted to populate different places. They had created the halls of Amonte. They're called different things every place
Yeah,
else.
yeah,
And the only things that came through originally through those halls of Amonte
uh,
were the dragon
yeah, yeah,
energy.
yeah.
So the dragon energy literally helped to create the halls
Mm.
of Amonte. And then through that, they came in first. And that's why everything is always dragons. It's so funny how I'm going to tell you
Mhm.
this.
Tell me, tell
They
me.
got rid of the only thing that we have throughout all of our history, whether they deem it archaeology or mythology, and that's dragons. They
I,
turned dragons into mythology, and then they created dinosaurs.
yeah, I totally agree.
This is what they did. They found dragon heads of all different, and then they created a fake body to go with it, and they called it a dinosaur.
I agree. Absolutely. And that's inner knowing. Like my heart knows this to be 1,000% accurate. I've always called them like a dinosaur. Come on. It never made sense. A T-Rex, okay, so it's got skin, it's got muscles, it's got organs. So whatever is presented to us, remove the flesh, look at the skeleton. It's the exact replica of skeleton or with flesh and bone. There's no difference. Whereas if you look at a big bear, how huge it is, and you look at its skeleton after, itty weeny shrivel, little short. It just
Yeah,
never made
yeah,
sense to me. Like, why is it identical looking?
yeah. Because they completely got rid of the dragons and the dragon archaeology, turned it into mythology, turned all the dragons into dinosaurs,
Yeah.
and changed bodies, kept their heads and changed
Mhm.
their bodies.
Yeah. Yeah. But all this information is coming back online. And Max is a big part of that too. Like
Yeah,
all the big boys and girls are back in town.
yeah, they are. Yeah, absolutely. Another reason why Max is going around with Joanne everywhere, Joanne Parks, is because they have gathered up all of these skulls and have put them into a vault so that
Mm.
they can't gauge humanity. They even have lined vaults of different materials so they can't go out trying to
Oh,
stop. Max is one of the only skulls left that's not been imprisoned.
wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Um, Hold on, because now you just said something and I remembered something in my meditation. Yes, okay, so I want to uh um so what did I get here? I got three other names. Crystal Skull Network. Is Max part of a grand? Okay, so visions about Narco, Sha Na Ra, and the Aztec skull.
Hmm?
Why they were scattered and what reunion means or the messages I said. So how do you react to Zarko? Do you know this?
I do know that there is the Sha Ra Ra.
Yeah.
I know one that's in, I believe it's in France. They have a skull that used to be out and it's now put away where no one can see it. There's one
Like,
in England
uh-huh.
that they have it caused quite a stir. It would be sitting on a shelf in a museum and people could watch it moving and levitating. So at that point they're like, okay, no, let's lock this baby up. So
Oh no. That's
all
amazing.
these skulls have been taken out of the populations because they knew that they were getting ready to download people with packages. Since
Suppression again. Yeah.
yeah, so since that's happened, Max was put to where he could be taken by Joanne because she legally owns him. No one can take him from her, and she has gone, and things have been made available for her financially because she doesn't make a lot of money. She really doesn't. She barely makes that much money to just go and travel and take care of her little apartment and stuff, which is a little house now.
Mm.
But that she could take this skull throughout humanity and go on tours everywhere in different parts of the snow globe so that because the other skulls are all locked up, that Max can do the job of all the other skulls since they're so locked up.
Right, right. But I get that a lot of them are just dispersed and haven't been found. So I get that many
A
are
lot
locked
of them,
up, but
a lot
yeah,
of the ones that have been found have been pretty much locked down,
yeah,
owned by private collectors and literally shoved in a vault.
crazy. Yeah.
Heavy vault, boom, you'll never say. All cabal people, deep state has them, own them.
Yeah.
A part of the deep state own these skulls. If these skulls got out right now, every skull was taken out of its little vault and put out into the population, you would see the biggest mass wake up you have ever seen in our reality.
Well, I'm getting that they are coming out of the vaults.
Let them come out. They need to
Yeah,
come out.
they come out
They need to come out.
because there's more here than just Maximilian and the skulls. We got she, we got he, the 8-8. They're coming out like they cannot hold them. They want out. They're coming out. I'm even seeing one rise out of an ocean, rise out like on its own, rising.
Oh, yeah, they have real energy beings inside of them. And remember that the crystal heads are technology. They weren't
Yes.
brought down. They weren't made like that. They were made by self-replicating crystalline tech.
Yeah. And that's what we're
This
turning into.
we got scratch marks on it. Well, they must have been rubbing it really smooth for hundreds of years. Oh God, give me a break.
Come on now.
I mean, the crop that they say, it's like, oh my God, who's going to buy that? Yes, for generations, like 200, all we did was take a rag all day long and just rub the skull nice and clean for
Uh-huh. Yeah,
generations,
yeah.
24
No, no,
hours a day.
definitely that's not what happened. I get that they
Yeah,
might have been originally, I get the word uh, uh, off-world Acturian, perhaps, but there was more work. Okay, so maybe they were thought of, because I get that it was created through sound and thought. This is what I'm being shown right now, a frequency, sound and thought off-world. I think it's Acturian, whatever, but I feel that it was the Lemuria. So they were actually
yeah.
thought of and formed Lemuria. Does that resonate to you?
Yeah, these crystal skulls were actually created in the beginning when we did have a Lemuria, when we did
Yeah.
have an Atlantis before the 10 falls, and then the three big ones that broke them up and destroyed them. And also, there was Lemuria, there was Atlantis, and Mu. Those are
Moog,
three
Moog,
places.
yes, yes, yes,
Mu.
yes. I got
I'll
Moog.
do an entire video on the sunken places inside of here. I had just found out when I was doing a live the other day, I started looking into some stuff because I had gone to Spain a couple of years ago And there was this distinct line in the water way out there, but it was a line. And no matter if it rained or stormed, the line was still there. And I'm like, man, that's a freaking holograph. And I had seen a pyramid in the sky. It looked like a cloud, but you could definitely see it
I'm
was trying
seeing
to
it.
fall.
Yeah.
And it was right there in Spain. And I'm like, we even had a craft go by our window. We were like on the third or fourth floor. I can't remember what it was. And it
Mhm.
unveiled itself. We're standing there watching the craft. It had a big ball on the bottom.
Yeah.
And it was probably the size of probably 30 feet across and
Mhm.
probably 30 feet high. And with the ball made it even bigger, unfurl itself in front of us. And I'm standing there I was with Arthur and I'm like, what is that? What is that outside of our window? He's like, is that a UFO? And I'm like, that's a craft.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So we saw the big pyramid, the craft was behind our thing, and then we saw this line. And I finally started remote viewing the line, and I'm like, oh, the line is a holographic
Uh-huh.
image. There's a whole island in the middle, not that far from Barcelona, about 30, 40 minutes from Barcelona. Out there is a island that's in the Mediterranean that no one knows about, and it's got holographics all around it. And this is why you're not allowed to go out there. And it isn't
Yeah.
about the artifacts, it's about land.
I'm being shown right now by higher self, like use the movie Wonder Woman as disclosure because where Wonder Woman comes from, like what do you call the she barbarians? The well, well,
Amazon women.
the Amazonians, they were
Yeah.
shielded by a hologram, that island, so that
Mm-hmm,
people did not
mm-hmm,
know. Or Kong Island was shielded
yeah.
with fog.
Yeah.
I've seen this ship you mentioned of right on top of my house once. It was massive and it was rectangular like a pyramid. It was dark, but mine had one, two, three, four, five, six white lights under it, and it hovered so slowly. It wasn't like thick, like visual like this, but it was
Uh-huh.
see-through. It was like
Yeah.
mind-blowing.
Yeah. Mine was see through too. And it's like, oh my God. That's
Yeah,
what I call phase shifting. Because we
yeah,
think everything is solid. No, it's not. All of your dimensions and your frequencies and your densities are here. It's all
yes.
here. Where
Yeah,
do
yeah, yeah.
you log in? This is what you will experience.
I love it. So beautifully said, Sonia. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So when we start ascending, this third eye, the pineal, the
Uh,
pituitary, and the third gland
uh,
connect to these two eyeballs, and the frequency that you're now, the 5D, is going through here and seeing through here, and all of a sudden you see a separation in that. And now you can see all this stuff that no one else can see because
yeah.
you're ascending
Yeah.
into that.
Oh! Yay, yay, yay! So I pulled a few cards just earlier, like three, not a full set. When I was saying, like, will the other ones come unleash out of their box where they were caged up, vaulted the other crystal skulls? So I just want to read because it's quite fascinating and I didn't want to forget about it if you don't mind. So we started with the Seven of Cups, right? So that's confusing. But look, it could be all damn locked up in a vault right here. All
Oh
these
God.
different skulls. But what I got,
Mhm.
Three of Pentacles, the Trinity here at the Heartbeat. This is collaborations, new collaborations coming in between different platforms. And like Sonia says, mind, heart, gut, the Trinity. And then what happens? Look at this. The Eight of Wands
Wow.
coming out rapid fire, it being the second fastest of the deck. Look at them coming online. Electric, the dragon flying, the dragons with the skulls. This, I look at the portal of gold here opening,
Oh,
enlightenment. There's so much in just these three cards. So I
oh
wanted to
yeah,
say that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You're really good at that.
Thank you. I like it.
Most people who can do tarot cards
Uh-huh.
are connected, and all of that information coming from inside of you, coming
Yes.
from outside of you meets, and this is where you get your skill set from. So remember that we all manifest too. That deck of cards, I don't care how many times you shuffle it, when you want an answer, you'll manifest the card that needs to be there, even
Yes.
if you're unaware of it. That is how it actually works.
Yes, beautifully said. And I just did a show recently with my beloved, loved by Jenny Tarot, and we had this discussion. And also, what you say, yes, but it's also being able to look at the designs and get more information. Because when I read tarot, I'm actually reading through my higher self. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you can look, this is about confusement, but right now I'm seeing like this could represent every locking box that held all the other skulls. Because I feel
Yep.
that the skulls might have also, I'm getting a new download right now, different energies to them. Right now,
Oh,
I'm
every
getting
one of them's different.
air, earth, water, fire,
Fire,
and ether. I'm getting ether.
people. That every single skull has a different ability because there's an energy being inside of that skull, and they're connected to water, air, earth, fire, metal, wood, you name it. There's all
Yes.
kinds of different things they're connected to,
Uh-huh.
and what their
Oh.
strength is.
And you
Mm-hmm.
combine all that, and then you become a superhuman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A light
So,
being, the plasma being before
yep.
the descent.
Yep. Absolutely.
It all comes full circle. I love, love, love these topics.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So that
Yeah.
crystal skull, Maximilian,
Yes.
I think I've been connected to him ever since he put that package inside of me. I think he's constantly running through me, looking through
Mhm.
my eyes, listening through my ears. And I think he has a lot to do with the things that I say that are
Yeah, the
unfolding,
throat, very
the throat,
important. Yeah.
the throat. I have I guess I never really wanted to look at it too closely, but
Mm.
I do believe that this connection, that this package he put inside of me will probably be inside of me until this avatar is not my avatar anymore.
There's a big, 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 big connection, and it's a very important connection. And you, again, it's the voice, right? It's just strange that a month ago, both of us started getting Maximilian. Then we
Yeah.
did one show together, and here we are, like, and this thing,
So
this painting in back of you, Max is staring at us, like,
uh-huh.
poof.
Because I've been thinking about Max for at least a month, like thinking about him like every day, Max, Max, Max.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking, man, I need to do another show on Max. I'm gonna have to do another show on Max. I
And
just
then this week
decided
I
to do
come.
it.
I knew you would want to. I'm so excited. And I feel there's a lot more that Max wants to share. But I got a feeling that we're going to save that perhaps for another episode. Because I think that there are more that needs to come out. We have to come more online. And I feel there's a lot more information that he will want to share. How do you feel about that? Do you resonate about that?
I do. I have
Yeah.
this feeling that I'm getting ready to come into more information soon.
Mhm.
And it's coming soon because of where we are through this ascension that humanity is in. And it's going to be time. And when that unfolds inside of me and all of this information comes rushing out, I'm really kind of holding it off until I either talk about it. I never really look into stuff or talk about anything until I'm either filming or I'm
Mm.
talking to someone filming, because once it comes in, it's not like something that I've learned, it's coming in. And I don't want to
Yes.
lose anything I say, because it would be like having a conversation with somebody and you can't remember everything. You can't
You
remember
can't.
everything. It's too much. And it's like, oh man, I got to record this because once this package unloads, I'll be interested to hear what I'm going to say. And it's
Yes,
like,
I
oh
get it.
man.
Absolutely. And you're going to rock your world. You're going to
Uh-huh.
rock your own world. Yes.
I've done
Yes.
that so many times where it's like, wow, what a lot
Oh,
of information.
it's 111 right now as we said that. Here, 111. The three portal, the Trinity. Yes.
Oh,
So I think that this is good enough to wrap up for this episode, because I do have some guests that are in town from the States. Yes. But I really loved this session. And I got to tell you that I absolutely adore everything that is you in energy, in your sense
Oh,
of humor, and you being authentic. Like, I really love your energy. There's a rock and
oh,
roll, there's a love, there's that inner child. I won't take any bullshit. Like, I like all of it. And plus, you got Susie Quattro hair, so I gotta love that too, right?
you. When I first met you, I'm like, wow, I can feel your fireball energy just going off the scale. Because it doesn't matter about time or space. There's no such thing. I
That's
just
right.
have to look and I can feel everything about you.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow. I've had so many people on my YouTube channel say, "Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, I really love him."
Oh, well, thank you, Femi of Sonia, so very much. So on
Oh,
this, I did write a ending invocation, if you don't mind. It's not very long, but I thought it would have been very good to thank Maximilian to
oh,
have joined us
absolutely.
today out of respect for because he was here, you felt him, I felt him. He's very, very blah, 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 happy with this discussion because it was clear I don't want an interview, an interrogation. That's not what he wanted. You and your
Mm.
voice, and you're full of blue, the throat, voice. Something happened, magic. So let's go see invocation for Max. Please hold. All right. So, Max of the memory, keeper of flame, we thank you now. Your echo became a breath, a tone, a living stream, restoring pieces of the dream. Return now softly to crystalline core. Until the next time we open the door. The veil is closing. The voice grows dim, but the memory lingers, woven within.
Nice,
I
nice.
love him so much. I love his energy so much. Ugh.
Yeah, Maximilian, when I tap into him, extremely manly. I mean, very, very virile and manly and
Yeah,
strong. I mean,
yeah,
strong here.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, dragon energy, all that, and authentic and loving, and like all the good attribute of what divine balance sacred masculine is, not a corrupted version of
Yeah.
controlling and manipulating and ego and
Uh-huh.
none of that. Yeah.
No, no, because it's done on the highest caliber of integrity.
Yes. Yes. So, Femi, on this, we will leave you. So, thank you all for joining us. We do hope you enjoy our beautiful collaboration. And please do go love us some Sonia at her YouTube channel, which would be seen as The Tree of Knowledge. Yes, which I'll leave in the description box. And we wish you all a beautiful day. Sonia, I love you and I can't wait for our next collaboration.
Too. Looking forward to it. And everybody have a great rest of your morning, noon, or night, whatever time zone you're in.
And rock and roll. We love you back. Mwah! Ciao, babies.
Bye.